Okay, now this is the feedback on the assignment number 1 which I gave you last week. The first one, select any business activity of your own preference. Please remember what I mentioned here is before answering the question, you have to visually identify a business of your own favor. තමන් කැමති ඕනෑම supply chain එක තියෙන ව්‍යාපාර කටයුත්තක් තමුන් හිතට ගන්න ඕන. ඒ කරලා ඒ හිතලා ඒක ඇනලයිස් කරලා ඒකේ තියෙන දේවල් සඳහා තමයි මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තර දෙන්න ඕන. So unless you identify a proper business activity of your own preference, you will not be answering this question correctly. So if you have not visualized that one, I'm sorry to say you have not done your assignment part 1. So once you visualize your activity, what are the supply chain activities in your own business, right? So whatever the business you thought of, now visualize what are the supply chain activities within that. This is not of anything else. This is not of what I have already told you. Then any past incidents that had happened in that industry. Now say imagine if it is about, say as an example, construction industry. So you select construction industry as your own preference. And you should know what are the activities within that. Then are there any past incidents with regard to the construction industry? And also remember one thing here, once you select an business activity, you can't keep on changing for each and every question. Once you select a business activity, until you complete this entire assignment, you have to stick on to that one. So if there's any past incidents has happened, so maybe a construction related failure, maybe a traffic related vehicle accident, maybe due to climatic conditions, maybe due to any other accidents or incidents, whatever the past incidents. Then what are the risks involved? Now we talk about some past incidents, or you all answered some past incidents. Why did they happen? I mentioned you last time about the risk involved and how the risk could turn into accidents or incidents. The risk is probability of something to happen into the impact. It is the hazard that create the dangerous environment. But if it is the involvement of somebody that convert the scenario into an accident or incident. So why did they happen? If someone fell from height, why did he fell? If someone get crushed to equipment or machinery, why did that happen? So how often has that happened? That is the risk. You can say workers are falling down from ladders every other day. No, that is not the risk. Worker falling from the ladder and suffering grave injuries. Worker falling from the ladder and dying. Risk always comes with the incident or the probability of the incident and then the magnitude of the outcome. How the business is managing them. බිස්නස් එක පටන් ගත්ත පළවෙනි දවසේ ඉඳන් මිනිස්සු බිමට වැටෙන්නේ නැහැ. පළවෙනි දවසේ ඉඳන් මිනිස්සු මැරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතර කොහොමද පළවෙනි දවස්වල මිනිස්සු වැටුන්නේ නැත්තේ? Why did and how did they manage to achieve safety or perform the job safely within the first few days? That is the requirement. That is the question. Right. Then comes to assignment number 2. Name 3 reasons for HS management. I have mentioned here 10 minutes. Now this particular 10 minutes is as a rule for you to, or as a guide for you to complete your assignments. Because what will happen is most of the time, sometimes you spend so much of time on one tiny question without realizing that the entire amount of time allocated for the test paper has passed down. So you all should know first the structure, the answer, and answer that within the time given. Now this particular time given is not going to come in your final paper. The final assignment is for you to decide and complete, but here I am giving you only a guideline. Then how working on these 3 reasons could improve your business? You know what are the 3 reasons? Legal reasons, moral reasons, financial reasons. So when you are sticking into that one, how it will help to improve your business. Then what are the compulsory, on-demand and volunteer standards and the regulations followed? I noticed that many has got confused on this one. Compulsory standards, ILO is not a compulsory standard, remember. But labor law is a compulsory standard. Factory Act is a legal requirement. Legal requirements are the ones, those are compulsory. Then on-demand ones are the ones that have been asking by somebody else. Most of the time it is the client. Client is asking for your certification. then whatever the certification that you give on demand or demands made by the client are on demand certification. Then comes volunteered. Nobody is asking, but you are doing it. Now when it comes to that, most of the on-demand standards could be volunteered also. You can do certain good things even before somebody asks for that one. That is the proper approach. So remember, most of the time on-demand standards and the volunteer standards could be the same. And some people have answered this question pretty well, which I didn't expect, though it was in my mind. That is about the health and safety management. Right now, remember, we discussed only about standards like British Retail Consortium, then the RAP standard, CTPAT standard. All those things are secondary standards actually. Right? There are certain primary practices which is being suggested by ILO with regard to the management of health and safety, welfare, giving them proper toilet facilities, ventilation, lighting, breaks, proper equipment, training. All these things also volunteered ones. So remember, it's not only the RAP, BRC and CTPAT standard kind of things. Even those things you all can include. Then only the question will be properly answered. Right. Then assignment number 3, as an employer, what responsibilities you have and how will you discharge them in your organization? Remember, in your organization, again, still we are talking about the very same organization which you have selected in your question 1. As I told you, don't keep on changing from the organizational structure from question to question. අපි මුලින්ම question එක answer කරනකොට අපි හිතේ තියාගත්ත construction industry එක නම් assignments මේ section එකේ තියෙන ටික ඉවර වෙනකන් අපි ඒකේ ඉන්න ඕන. ඒතර මේ පළවෙනි එකට කියපු විදිහටම තමයි අන්තිම එකටත් answers එන්න ඕන. ඒතර තමුන්ගේ හිතින් හිතාගත්ත business එකේ තියෙන තමන්ගේ තියෙන responsibilities employer කෙනෙක් හැටියට තියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක තමයි මෙතන ප්‍රශ්නෙට හරි විදිහට answer වෙන්නේ. Then I am going to show you some statistics from my YouTube channel. The මම මෙතන දැකපු දෙයක් තමයි මේ view duration is very low. The total duration is about 1.5 hours, but you can see here average view duration is only 8.2 minutes. I don't know the reason behind that, but maybe due to the Wi-Fi connection, maybe due to the devices what you are using. But somehow I am somewhat okay with the total view, number of views, which indicates to me practically everyone has had a good look at it. But remember, one tiny advice, every time I do a video or presentation, I may give certain clues towards the end of the presentation. So don't miss them, right? Right. And also, there's one more thing. You all have missed some requirements I have asked for in the handout which I gave you, PDF document. If you go through that one, at the very last explanation, you can see very clearly I have asked for certain information from you all. Sad to say, except for 1 or 2, none of others has even attempted that. So remember, your assignments are coming not only in the presentation, it may come in other forms also, right? So in the future, please go through the documents properly and learn to answer point form without telling stories. That will only attract proper marks. Okay? Right. Thank you and good luck.